and growth is uncomfortable and growth hurts. Think about a plant or think about a bean. I don't know if you did this experiment in your childhood, but for me, I remember doing the experiment of putting a bean, so a red bean, into wet toilet paper so that it grows, and the bean bursts through, like it opens up and it bursts through like the skin, and you'll then see that the plant start growing from the bean. That's probably painful as heck for that bean. I'm not saying the bean has feelings, girl. All right, guys. Hey, it is Zaylee Barclay of ZayleeBarclay.com. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are talking about, what are we talking about? Girl, the last thing that made me cry in business, because business is life, kinda, yeah? All right, so I think this goes back to growth, right? A lot of times we ask God for growth, and when we ask Him for growth and we get the growth, we kind of complain about the growth, right? And then I feel like a lot of times we don't ever check ourselves and tell ourselves, well, girl, this is the growth that you've been asking for, so you can't say that this thing is too hard. Kind of like the person who has a 9-to-5 and they're completely tired of it, and they've been asking God, oh God, please give me a chance to understand who I am, self-reflect, and build the business of my dreams. And then a pandemic hits, and now they're complaining that they don't have anything to do. They are confused about life. And when that's really the time for you to sit down and self-reflect and figure out or make steps to figuring out who you are and what you should be doing, right? So yes, that kind of leads into the last time that I cried and what I cried about in business. So for me, the last time that I actually cried, and that was leading back to the growth that I've been asking for, was right when the pandemic hit. So my birthday was in March, and I remember my mom and my boyfriend being here in Dallas with me. If you don't know, I was born in Trinidad. I moved to New York City. I spent 12 years there and I got completely tired of it. And then I ended up moving to Dallas, Texas, and I'm here for almost 3 years now. And so they came to visit me, my boyfriend and my mom came to visit me for my birthday in Dallas. And I was telling them, like, yo, I know that there's a next level and there's a shift that is coming because I can feel it. But I don't know what to do. And I don't know what it is. And I don't know what action I needed to take. And it's funny because this has happened to me before. I feel like it happened right before I actually moved to Dallas. And when I got to Dallas, I did not know anyone. I probably knew like 2 people. And I was forced, because I didn't know anyone, to sit and think and look within and ask questions and get answers for the next level. And that is kind of what I had to do, or what I should have done in that time where I was crying, because I felt like my business was growing like crazy. I had so many inquiries coming in. I also know that I have a true calling for teaching. And so I wasn't sure which way I wanted to go, which was the crazy thing. Like, I was so confused because I felt like, usually you feel that kind of feeling when you're dealing with lack and not having enough, or not knowing, what you really want to do. But I knew what I wanted to do, and I had to really tap in and listen to heart. But I didn't figure that the answer was internal, because I kept looking for external signs when what you really have to do is look within. So I kind of found myself thinking, I don't even know what direction to move in, what I should be doing, how I should be handling this. Like, I was so confused. And then I got just the answer to look within. And like I said, I'd been through that before. And in looking within, I think that we have to understand that we can ask for an answer. Like, ask God, right? And recently in the Thinking Color Summit, I kind of shared that you're going to get that deep-rooted gut answer of what you should be doing. And that answer came, right? Now, the thing is, a lot of times we ask for it and we don't listen. Right? So we ask for an answer, but we don't listen for, or we don't look for signs. When you ask a question, like you ask God, yo, which way should I move? How should I shape shift? Like what should I do? What is my next step? Be really specific about what you want and you will get that answer, but you have to be willing to listen and really zone into whatever that answer is that you get. And that was the thing for me. So in doing that, I was able to just ask and wait for that answer and wait to receive. And it's funny because that answer might come in the form of something you read in a book. It might come in the form of just you hearing exactly what the next step is that you're supposed to take. And it can also come from you looking back and seeing all of the things that are leading up to this moment. What are the things that you can write down that are actually leading up to this moment and leading into you moving forward and creating something completely amazing or creating a next level for yourself. But you've got to be willing to look within. Nobody else on the external has the answer. I think that's one thing that we run into a lot online. We think that somebody has the answer for us. So I'm gonna pay this person $12,000 to give me the answer. And if you're not willing to follow the answer that you have within and have that person expand on whatever it is, then it's really hard for you to just get an answer from somebody else externally. So the answer is always within. Going back to my story, so as I asked for that answer, it started evolving. A lot of it went back to my own journey and things that I was an expert at that I had pushed to the sides. And I'll expand on this more in another episode. But definitely just looking into who you really and truly are and trusting your gut intuition and understanding that that is the way that God speaks to you. That's how he gives you messages. That's how he talks to you and lets you know every single answer that you are searching for. So I also, one thing that I got as well, and this is my mantra for moving into the future, right? But really into the next 6 months, is that I cannot go around the thing. I have to go through the thing. So a lot of times we're afraid of making mistakes. And one thing that I keep hearing within myself is, yo, I'm afraid to make this mistake, but I can't go around it for growth. I have to go through it. And growth is uncomfortable and growth hurts. Think about a plant or think about a bean. I don't know if you did this experiment in your childhood, but for me, I remember doing the experiment of putting a bean, so a red bean, into wet toilet paper so that it grows. And the bean bursts through, like it opens up and it bursts through like the skin. And you'll then see that the plant start growing from the bean. That's probably painful as heck for that bean. I'm not saying the bean has feelings, girl, but you know. So I want you to think about that. Like, growth is never easy. So when you ask for growth or you ask for answers, you have to then execute. You can't wait for these answers to just fizzle themselves away. It's really up to us to take action. So you got to ask, you got to listen, and when you get those answers, you have to execute, right? If you're supposed to wait for more answers, then you can do that. But I feel like the best way to get next level answers is to take action. And as you're moving through, keep asking. I hope this makes sense to somebody. But that was the last time that I cried. But when you cry, you gotta pick it up and figure it out and keep moving forward. Yes. So I hope this was helpful in some way. I love you. And I'll be releasing more of these as we move along. Take care.